Hola. Hola. ¿Qué es esto? Well, I'm sure you all know this is a lightsaber. But you might not know that this is a light board. And it's one of the uses I'll be making of some of the interesting technology that we have for this 100% online teaching experience. Now, I'm doing my best to keep up with technology and to try to give you guys a little taste of what it was like in my class before COVID. Now, I know it's kind of weird to see a teacher in this way, but I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting than just doing traditional videos or always using PowerPoints to convey my messages. I actually really do miss being in front of the classroom. I miss seeing you, my students, and I miss the interaction. So I thought perhaps this might be useful as a good tool to introduce how things are going to work this semester. Claro, es un curso de español. So if you accidentally got into this class and you didn't realize it was a Spanish class, then yes, you need to switch out. Porque es una clase de español. Now this semester, fall 2020, we will be having class 100% online. So, 100% en línea, usando el internet. So what do you need for this new online experience? Well, obviously you need access to a computer. You have to maybe try to find a little space where it can be a little bit more quiet and easier for you to concentrate during our class time. We will be meeting on Teams for the class to work well. I need you to be able to hear me, but I need to be able to hear you. So if you don't already have a headset with a small microphone, you will have to purchase one anywhere you can find one. Jean Coutu, Best Buy, I mean, so many are available. Most of you already have incorporated in your laptop or your computer a microphone and a camera, so it shouldn't be a problem. However, if you don't, you can get one at the bookstore, and I believe it's under $10, so a pretty good deal, just to make sure you understand that for this 100% online clase de español, es obligatorio. It's not optional. It's obligatory, because I need to hear you participate in class, your colleagues, when I'm going to eventually figure out how to put you in small groups when we're live in Teams, because we will be meeting for class live. That's synchronous teaching, so live, real time, during our normal classes, we'll be meeting on Teams, and sometimes you'll be in groups, sometimes I'll just want to correct homework with you. So 100% online this semester. It's a new thing. We're going to get used to it. We'll get through it together. I'll need your input, and I'll need you to understand that all this is new to me, and I'm trying to, keep you engaged and make connections. So sometimes you might think she's oversharing, but I don't script any of these lessons for a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, there's no pre or post production. That means nobody's editing these. I'm all alone filming, and I'll be in my basement all alone teaching this semester. So this is as fancy as things are gonna get. So I'm gonna need you to give me some positive feedback, little things you think I could tweak. Hopefully I'll get better at this as the semester goes along. I'll be using traditional things like PowerPoints. I'll try to use Kahoots in class to keep you interested. But today's goal was just to quickly go over some of the things you need to survive the semester. If you decide to stay in my clase de español, you need to understand that learning a language is challenging. Yeah, because I already speak Spanish. I already memorized everything. Well, everything. Spanish is constantly evolving, and we have, 26 different countries that speak Spanish with different accents and different flavors. So, do I know everything? No. Yo no soy perfecta. I'm not perfect. No sé todo. I don't know everything. But I do need you to know that it requires discipline. You have to memorize this stuff. There's no other way with a language. So, we will always meet during class time. We will meet on Teams, and you will have to have a means to hear and speak so that I can, hear your wonderful answers, because yes, you also have to purchase the workbook, the paper workbook. And why paper in this day and age of 100% online teaching? Well, it's a fabulous reinforcement. And also, every once in a while when the internet is giving you a hard time or things aren't working out at home with your internet connection, this never fails. The workbook is always there. And all the grammar, the vocabulary, and the readings, they're all in that workbook. So you can always repetir, repetir, repasar, repasar. And also, quite frankly, it's a great break from all this extra screen time. So 100% online. You have to be able to hear and record your voice or participate live in Teams. Attendance to class is obligatory, all right? You have to come to class. That's when you're going to learn the most, is when you participate. And I want to get to know you. So I'm trying to be as unscripted and live and natural as possible so that you get an idea of what I'm like in class and what you can expect. So I think we've already covered that you need to purchase the workbook. We will be using Teams for online classes. We'll also use Teams sometimes when you go into the virtual lab. What's the virtual lab? Well, that's the second thing you have to purchase for this course. On top of the paper workbook, you're also going to have to purchase Learning Branch. Learning Branch is a platform, like a software that you guys will be using, and you'll use it for the virtual lab. So sometimes when we'll be on Teams, I'll say, okay guys, let's meet in 20 minutes. Go work on this activity in Learning Branch, and then you can pop in and check and ask me questions, and that way it'll be interactive. But Learning Branch will allow you to get more practice. Repetir, 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 repasar, repasar, repasar. It's the only way to learn. So by using Learning Branch, you'll have access to videos, recorded activities, listening activities, fill in the blanks, mix and match. Basically, it's your online workbook. The activities sometimes are very similar and often are completely different and supplemental. The idea is to keep you engaged. I also try to use the latest in music that I can find so that you have real contact with real Spanish, okay, from all over the Spanish-speaking world. And this is where you get to hear other accents, not just mine. So Learning Branch and the book, Los Libros. There's the book for level 1, and then there's a book I wrote for level 2, 3, and beyond. So depending which course you're registered in, you want to make sure you have the right paper workbook, which I believe is easily under $20, and then Learning Branch, which is also around $20, $25. So you'll see that overall the course costs that I put on the course outline are under $60. If you already have a headset, then you're well in the $40, $50 range. If you have to purchase a headset, then you're looking at around $60 for the entire semester, but that headset should be handy for all your other classes. So really, it's a one-time deal. But most of you already have a means to listen and to speak, because if I can't hear you, I can't grade you. And some of the online workbook, which is a big portion of your grade, as well as the testing on Learning Branch, as well as some of the oral evaluations, production, where we'll have maybe a live interview, I'll check in on you when we work in class, when we work in groups. If I can't hear you, I can't grade you. So these things are obligatory, all right? El libro, the book, Learning Branch, which I will post all the information on how to purchase Learning Branch on Leia. I'll also put the course outline on Leia. Any important handout, any important information, any extra PowerPoint presentations that I think you might find useful, I will post all of that. And of course, the course outline, if I haven't said it already 4 times, everything I will post on Leia. So, to recap, número 1, yo soy profesora Julia. Hola, la profesora de español virtual. This year, I'm your virtual Spanish teacher. We're 100% online this semester because of COVID. Just want to keep everybody safe. We'll be meeting always on Teams. When we're on Teams, hopefully I'll learn to put you guys in groups quickly and we can interact. We'll correct homework. You'll be able to ask me questions, ask each other questions. Sometimes I'll do my best to monitor the chat when we're on Teams. And sometimes if I'm showing you a presentation or sharing my screen, I can't monitor the chat, so I might ask students to participate and help me by monitoring the chat for me and letting me know if somebody's lost or has a question, or if I accidentally muted myself and you can't hear me. This is when I appreciate my students helping me. Because I've been teaching for about 26 years now, but not online. So this is a new adventure. And you'll notice I'm not very good at drawing. So sometimes when I use this fancy board, I'll be diving into new territory. And sink or swim, I'm not a very good swimmer. Anybody who knows me knows that pretty much dog paddle, yeah, that's it, that's me. So 100% online, we'll be using Teams. Learning branch will be your virtual lab and your graded workbook, as well as giving you access to a whole bunch of other interesting activities. So Leia is where I'll post the course outline, PowerPoints, information, and handouts. And if you need to reach me, let's use Mio or MIO. That's a way you can write to me and I'll write back to you. But let's also realize that in this new virtual world, lines have been blurred. And so let's try to communicate during reasonable hours. I kind of overdid it last semester in March when everything happened, and I was trying to work 24/7. It didn't work out very well. Kind of burnt myself out. So let's try to work during normal hours, and I'll always respond to you as quickly as I can, but not overnight. I realize that, I actually need sleep, and so do you. I'll try to minimize the screen time. I'll try to keep my videos short. But this one is all about the rules of engagement. This is an important video about what to expect this semester. Well, what can you expect? You can expect me to constantly repeat. Repetir, repetir, repetir. If you feel that this makes you feel like I'm treating you like a child, then maybe this class, my class, isn't for you. But honestly, it's the same way I would be in class. Repetir, repetir, repetir is the basics for memorizing language and learning this wonderful, beautiful español, ¿vale? Entonces, es súper importante tener la mente abierta, los ojos abiertos y escuchar. I need you to keep an open mind, to watch, to observe, and to hear and listen. Then, hopefully, you'll be able to speak. So, we're online 100%. We'll be meeting for live synchronous classes on Teams. Once in a while, I'll encourage you to go to the virtual lab. You'll be able to pop in and out. We're going to use Learning Branch for your online workbook and your virtual lab. We'll use Leia for any extra information that's important that you can access. Mio for our communications. And so what's over here? I wanted to make sure you know about the books. You have to get those books. You have to purchase Learning Branch. And ¿qué pasa aquí? Oh, some of you already know that I do have a website. It's absolutely free for anyone, and of course I designed it specifically for you, my students. So if you go to www.profesorajulia.com, you'll find my website, and in the website you'll see I have curated the website just to help you chapter by chapter based on this book so that you can find interesting links, extra videos. You should have enough with Learning Branch, but this is free and it's extra and it's optional. And then you'll see that I also put the link for Learning Branch and TestMoz, other quizzes that you can use that are free. I'll be using TestMoz. and this new YouTube channel. So you can now just go to profesorajulia.com and you can check out some of the videos I did last semester for my students, and I'll be adding some this term. Some of them will be with this new light board, others are based on PowerPoint presentations, and others are just, rudimentary that I taped using my telefono, my phone. So I'm just trying to put all this together for you so that we can have a good semester together and learn to get to know each other. So I would ask you, when you're on teams, let's be kind to one another. Let's be polite. Let's use what I call netiqueta, netiquette. We'll establish the rules of engagement. I know that John Abbott has provided you guys with some basic rules for netiquette and how to act online. I do expect you to be able to attend. I expect you to be in class. I expect you to participate, and I will try to answer all your questions. Sometimes we'll be able to chat. I will have my video on. Sometimes I might ask you to put your video on so that I can get to know you and see your faces. If we all do it at once, maybe the internet will crash, so we'll see how that goes. But if you could at least post a photo so that I'm not just seeing on Teams a whole bunch of initials, I really want us to connect. So sometimes you might feel, esta profesora, she's so needy. Yeah, because I miss my students. I miss being in class. But right now, we're in this weird space where we can explore new things. We can share. And I'm hoping that when you come to class, maybe if you've heard a new song on the radio, you want to share that with me. Or if you've been watching TV shows on Netflix in Espanol, you can share that with me. And so we can add some real live Spanish to what's going on right now. And instead of just seeing your initials, I'd much rather see your smiling faces. And that way, maybe we can make the best out of this interesting new frontier. Adios.